Hey everybody, Michael Snyder, California Weather Watch. Today's July 3rd, and right now we're looking at the sea surface temperature overlay here with the satellite imagery as the sun rises across the lower 48 states here, making its way towards California. But you can see the current of the Pacific Ocean will bring that cooler water down the coastline here, and once it starts to pull away in the current, bring some upwelling there to some portions of the northern and central California, bringing some really chilly water up from the depths below. And you could see if you look down across Mexico where the warmer water resides, that's why those tropical systems developed there. If you look really closely there, you can see the old circulation from ex-Hurricane Adrian there. It's over much cooler waters now, no more deep convection with it. And as you see, as that water moves out towards Hawaii, it is relatively cool as it moves out here, but just off to the west of Hawaii there, it starts to warm up quite rapidly there. So nice, interesting map here, the GOES 18 satellite imagery. If you look closer here, the sun's just now rising across the area, and you can see those lower clouds across Southern California, San Diego, all the way up the coastline. Look at that, just persistent stratus layer goes on for hundreds of miles off the coastline there, but a lot of glorious sunshine across the valley and the desert areas, including the mountains as well. Now this is looking at weather updates here, so you can see all the National Weather Service offices that do incorporate the state of California: Medford, Eureka, Sacramento, Reno, San Francisco, Hanford, Las Vegas, Phoenix, San Diego, and Los Angeles there. So pretty interesting here. You can look up all those sites on Twitter or the NOAA, the National Weather Service site as well, and view all that information. This is high temperature forecast for today. Look at ready, and again 106. You want to beat the heat, of course, get down to the coastline. It sounds like a broken record, but you can see pretty warm over the valley areas, not quite as warm as yesterday. And we're going to go through a cooling trend here coming up, and then we'll take a look at the extended forecast and see what we can expect there as well. This is high temperatures today. Look at Palm Springs and Thermal, just kind of ridiculous temperatures going on there, but plenty warm over much of the area except the immediate coastline, as you see. Here we go. Heat continues this week, but we do get somewhat of a break. You can see today, and then cooling off for Vegas a bit. Same thing with Death Valley, if you can call that cooling down. Lake Havasu as well. You can kind of see the downward trend of temperatures here as we go towards the end of the week, but some signs that we may be bouncing back those temperatures through the extended. We'll take a look at that here coming up. And this is Phoenix, Arizona, 116 today. The desert's just baking there. So yeah, hope you guys are beating the heat out there. This is looking at the snow melt flooding concerned here. Still melting off some snow across that higher terrain there, so watch out for that. That water's running high, cool and fast here off some of those rivers and streams. Minor coastal flooding possible. Kind of an interesting graphic here from the Bay Area. This is just due to the tide cycles here from Saturday into Wednesday here. So just have a heads up for that coastal flood advisory. This is looking at across Hanford, I believe. Hanford, California. Yes, it is. You got flood advisories. You got flood watch. You got excessive heat warnings, heat advisories. You got a lot of stuff going on here. So, heads up. It's pretty interesting to see flood advisories for melting snow and an excessive heat warning here in the same forecast office. Just thought I'd point that out. So here we go. National Blended Models, daily 2-meter max temperature. You can see still pretty warm across the valleys. The desert's Death Valley here. You can see Death Valley there. And across much of the desert areas out towards Phoenix as well. And of course, the immediate coastline is definitely a place for relief. Here we go for tomorrow. Still plenty warm across the area, but you can see the general cooling trend as we go through Wednesday, Thursday, dropping back down into the lower mid-90s for many areas in the valley. Friday, again, a little bit of a downtrend there as well. Saturday, Sunday, so not doing too bad, but then we start to bounce back again here. And since we're so far out in the forecast, we'll continue to watch that to see what kind of heat this next segment brings here as we go off into the extended. But right now, we're just kind of watching it. But the good news is over the next few days towards the end of the week here, we're going to be on a cooling trend, and I'll show you why here in a moment. But quickly, I want to just scroll through the European as of last night. This goes out 90 hours. What you can see here is a few showers popping off across some of eastern and northeastern Nevada and some of California here, but for the most part, no precipitation here for much of the southwest. This is looking at temperature here, cross section. There's 5,000 feet, 10,000 feet at the top. This is the surface, and you can see Sacramento really warming up during those afternoon hours, but that cooling trend coming here as we go through July 5th and then July 6th there. So good news for those of you guys who don't like that extreme heat, and you can see it here in the Sacramento International Airport here, the downtrend through the end of this week towards the weekend. This is looking at Los Angeles. Check it out. Pretty suppressed temperatures. for the foreseeable future here. Maybe a little bit of a warming trend here as we go on in through mid-July here, but seasonably cool there for Los Angeles here over the last few months. This is looking at 500 millibars, 18,000 feet. We've got the Hawaiian Islands, Pacific Ocean. Here's California. You can see the ridge building over the Gulf of Alaska here, or up towards it anyway. And as you put that into motion, you can kind of see this ridge flatten out a bit here and weaken, and we start to put this trough here across California and much of the Intermountain West here. And that's what's going to be the bringer. This is what's going to bring that cooling trend here as we go through the weekend coming up here. So anyway, that'll be a nice break for some people across the state, even Nevada, and maybe down towards Arizona a bit as well. This is looking at 850 millibars here, 5,000 feet, above average temperatures dominating with our above average warmth across the region here. And then you can see that troughing kind of moving in here and bringing that cooler air aloft. So hopefully we can knock down those temperatures a few degrees coming up. This is the GFS looking at long term here, so I'm just going to fly through this, and as you get on into the extended, pretty typical for the monsoon season to just start coming in here in July here. I might have over exaggerated that a bit in previous days, but still it's a ways out. You're looking at 180 hours out and still not much precipitation for Arizona. So hopefully we can start kicking up some precipitation out there without starting too many fires here with the lightning strikes initially or anything of that nature, and start to get some precipitation flowing and drop those temperatures down a bit across the area. This is looking at the European. If we go all the way up to 360, you can see it does show maybe that monsoon moisture starting to make its way in here through the extended, but not too much. Just something we'll be watching here over the next week or so. As the 6 to 10 day precipitation probability, you're going to see the suppression of the precipitation there, and all the way through July 16th, a bit of it, but then maybe we'll start to return towards normal here across southern Arizona as the monsoon maybe starts to creep northward there. 6 to 10 day precipitation temperature probability outlook, sorry about that, but you can see through July 12th there, the below average signal is including some of the state of California here. This is 8 to 14 day with a potential bounce back in temperatures as we go through mid-July. Just something we'll be watching for now. This is the snow water equivalent, still at about 2.7 across the entire state average here, about the 85th percentile or so. And usually this time of year we are melted out from many of these recording areas. So anyway, yeah, I hope you guys are out there and enjoying that weather. Be careful there on the 4th of July. Watch out for that fire danger here. Don't pollute your air too much by shooting off too many fireworks out there. And remember, even though, a lot of places fireworks is illegal, but if you set it off, it's not a big deal until something happens. And if something happens and you damage a property or somebody gets injured, then they come after you. So just kind of keep that in the back of your mind there. Maybe take it a little bit easy there on the 4th of July. So anyway, I hope you guys are liking these videos. We'll do this again tomorrow, and I'll talk to you guys then.